So here he is, the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world. This man ubiquitously regarded as the top 85er at present. Some people believe this is the greatest middleweight of all time. He certainly does, and he has goals even beyond that. He wants to be one of the greatest mixed martial arts athletes of all time, and in order to preserve that goal, this is a title defense, simply put, that he's got to have. Till the tape for this middleweight championship fight. So 3 years the gap in age between these two fighters, and they both possess a similar height and reach. All right, now for the particulars, he is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Dan Mergliata. This is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for. Live from the Showdown.
When Brandon Moreno steps into the Octagon in Mexico, it's never just another fight. It's a moment. At UFC Mexico, the energy inside the arena was electric long before the cage door even closed. The hometown hero returned with the weight of expectation on his shoulders, facing the dangerous and hungry challenger, Kavanagh, in a matchup that promised technical brilliance and high-stakes drama. From the very first walkout, you could feel the contrast. Moreno, smiling but laser-focused, absorbed the roar of the crowd like fuel. Across the cage, Kavanagh carried a cold intensity, no wasted movement, no emotional distractions. This wasn't just about rankings. This was about proving who belongs at the very top of the division. As round one began, Moreno immediately established his rhythm. Light on his feet, bouncing in and out, he used his signature feints to test Kavanagh's reactions. Moreno's jab was sharp early, snapping the head back and forcing Kavanagh to reset. But Kavanagh wasn't there to be overwhelmed by atmosphere. He answered with calculated low kicks, targeting Moreno's lead leg in an effort to slow down that trademark footwork. The early exchanges were a chess match disguised as a firefight. Moreno mixed levels beautifully. High feints into body shots, quick combinations followed by lateral exits. His timing looked crisp, and he was clearly dictating the tempo. But Kavanagh showed composure beyond his years. He stayed tight defensively, parried well, and waited for counters. Midway through the round, the first big moment landed. Kavanagh slipped a jab and fired back with a clean right hand that caught Moreno flush. The crowd gasped. Moreno briefly backed up, recalibrating. It was a reminder. One mistake changes everything at this level. Instead of panicking, Moreno responded like a veteran champion. He increased his output, doubling up on combinations and adding kicks to the body. The volume began to tell. Kavanagh's guard absorbed shots, but Moreno's pace was relentless. In the grappling exchanges, Moreno showcased another layer of his game. After catching a kick, he transitioned into a quick takedown attempt. Kavanagh defended well initially, but Moreno's chain wrestling kept him guessing. Even when the takedown didn't fully materialize, Moreno forced scrambles, and scrambles are where he thrives. Round one closed with both men landing clean shots, but Moreno's activity and forward pressure likely edged him ahead on the scorecards. Still, the margin was thin. Kavanagh had proven he wasn't overwhelmed. He belonged. Round two opened with a noticeable shift. Kavanagh began pressing forward more aggressively. Instead of waiting, he started initiating. His leg kicks accumulated damage, and Moreno's movement looked slightly less fluid. Was the strategy paying off? Then came another momentum swing. Moreno landed a spinning back fist that stunned Kavanagh momentarily. The arena erupted. Moreno swarmed, throwing combinations with bad intentions. But Kavanagh survived, clinching, slowing the pace and buying critical seconds. That composure might have saved the fight. By the end of the second round, both fighters had moments of success. Moreno's volume and diversity versus Kavanagh's power and tactical adjustments. The fight was tightening, and heading into the championship rounds, everything was still up for grabs. As the fight moved into the later rounds, experience began to play a major role. Brandon Moreno has been in wars before, title fights, 5-round battles, momentum swings. He knows how to breathe in chaos. And in round 3, that composure showed. Moreno returned his jab, but now he layered it with calculated pressure. Instead of bouncing wildly, he cut angles, forcing Kavanagh toward the cage. That positional awareness limited Kavanagh's counter space. Every step backward made it harder for him to generate power. Still, Kavanagh refused to fade. He landed a beautifully timed counter left that snapped Moreno's head sideways. The exchanges were getting heavier. The output slightly decreased, but the impact increased. Then came a pivotal grappling exchange. Moreno shot for a takedown, and this time secured it cleanly. He transitioned quickly into half guard, applying shoulder pressure and landing short elbows. This was veteran control, not reckless submission hunting, but damage accumulation and positional dominance. Kavanagh attempted to scramble, but Moreno anticipated it, taking the back briefly before settling back into control. Those small moments, those 30 to 60 seconds of dominance, can win rounds at this level. As round 4 began, fatigue was visible on both fighters. The pace had been high, the exchanges punishing, but Moreno's conditioning looked slightly superior. He resumed combination punching, 3, 4, 5 strikes at a time, mixing head and body. Kavanagh's leg kicks continued, but they lacked the same sting. The earlier damage had slowed Moreno somewhat, but not enough to stop his forward pressure. Midway through the 4th, Moreno landed the cleanest combination of the fight. A jab, straight right, left hook that sent Kavanagh stumbling. The crowd sensed a finish. Moreno chased, throwing calculated but aggressive strikes. However, Kavanagh's heart was undeniable. He circled out and survived again. Heading into the final round, the fight likely leaned in Moreno's favor, but not comfortably. Kavanagh needed something big. Round 5 was pure grit. Kavanagh pressed forward desperately, throwing power shots. Moreno, instead of retreating, met him in the center. The exchanges were raw, sweat flying, both men digging deep. But Moreno's accuracy told the story. His combinations were cleaner, his defense tighter. And when the final minute ticked down, he sealed the performance with another takedown, a statement of control. When the final horn sounded, both fighters raised their hands. But the momentum, the volume, the tactical adjustments, they all pointed toward Moreno. At UFC Mexico, in front of his people, Brandon Moreno delivered once again. Not a flawless performance, not an easy fight, but a championship-level display of resilience, adaptability, and heart. And for Kavanagh, a star-making performance in defeat. He proved he can hang with the elite. But on this night in Mexico, it was Moreno's experience, pace, and precision that made the difference, and reminded the world exactly why he remains one of the most dangerous and beloved fighters in the division.